Coming up next on Middle Tennessee News, police say a woman was killed by gunshot wound to the face. The investigation is still ongoing. More details to come.
Then strong winds cause a tornado watch to go into effect.
March Madness is well underway.
All those stories plus your latest weather. Middle Tennessee News starts right now.
Okay, you're going to have to go a little bit faster.
I'm J.R. Smith.
And I'm Cheyenne Avila. Welcome to Middle Tennessee News.
Now, as I came into classes today, storms, or at least the storms weren't coming in yet, but it was very windy. But now, very stormy, very rainy. Jonathan Sasser has more on that, how things are going right now. Jonathan.
Well, as you can see by this radar on here, the storms are coming in from the west, driven by the force of the western winter storm. It'll be very windy tonight with a tornado watch in effect from 12 p.m. today to 7:30 p.m. And then there still will be dangerous winds and rain. So you better, stay indoors if you can help it. If you really got to drive, be careful out there. I'll go into more detailed weather later on in the newscast. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jonathan. Stuff to really think about.
Yes, for sure. All right, on Wednesday night around 9:40, Murfreesboro police responded to a report of a woman not breathing on the 400 block of Forest Street. When officers arrived, they saw the victim had suffered from a gunshot wound to the face. The victim was taken to St. Thomas Rutherford Hospital where she was pronounced dead. No arrest had been made. We will keep you updated when we get more information.
A new bill making its way to the Tennessee General Assembly would allow defendants convicted of first-degree murder to be ineligible for the death penalty if they have certain severe mental illnesses. According to the bill, exemptions would be made for those with schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, bipolar disorder with psychosis, and major depressive disorder with psychosis or delusional disorder during the time of their crime. The House Criminal Justice Subcommittee agreed on Wednesday to send the proposal to a full hearing.
Murfreesboro's most wanted suspect, Jody Savage, has been captured. He is in custody in White County. He is being held on charges of theft, possession of drug paraphernalia, and forgery. There is also a holdout for him in Putnam County for violating probation. He will be returned to Rutherford County to face charges of theft over $10,000.
Rutherford County Sheriff's Office is searching for the person who defaced a Confederate statue. Words like murderer and coward were spray painted onto the Johnny Rebel near the courthouse. The paint has since been removed, but police are still on the lookout for the vandal.
In the early morning at 2:15, suspect Thaddeus James Lee engaged in a domestic assault against Sean Reyna Fernandez. It is reported by the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office that Lee grabbed Fernandez by the throat and threw her down. She attempted to fight back, but he grabbed her hair and dragged her into the kitchen. However, she managed to escape and leave the home. She returned 30 minutes later and saw Lee had left and went to her house and locked herself inside. Lee came back and shot her deadbolt locks and her cell phone, then took her dog wallet and left. Emergency services soon found Lee and arrested him, returning Fernandez's wallet and dog. Lee is currently in the Rutherford County Adult Detention Center on a $45,000 bond.
18 arrests have been made following an undercover investigation in Grundy County. Special agents with the FBI and Grundy County deputies discovered a drug operation and gave their evidence to the Grundy County grand jury. The jury then indicted more than a dozen people.
The Murfreesboro Fire Rescue Department is welcoming 25 new trainees. The group was hired in the near $30 million in the grant funds department got last year. According to Fire Rescue Chief Mark Folks, this is the biggest group of departments hired since the early 90s. The recruits are going to start their training in early April and should graduate by mid-June.
A suspected murderer is still at large after 3 years. In 2016, Francisca Gomez Cordero's body was found on the side of a Rutherford County roadway. At the time, she was living with the suspect, Romulo Hernandez Mayo, and their younger daughter. A warrant has been issued for the Hernandez Mayo's arrest, but police still have no leads. If you have any information, Murfreesboro Police ask that you call.
All right, so this weather, you know, it's coming in. The storms are just coming in, you know, today, so.
But they weren't earlier. See, that's the thing. And I wondered just how long they're going to stay. Jonathan Sasser, I believe, has more information on that. Tell me, Jonathan, is it going to be good?
Well, JR, it was pretty deceptive today. It started out kind of sunny, you know, mostly cloudy, but you saw the sun there and blue skies. But the storm has come in. It's currently raining right now, and it is very windy out there with tornado-like conditions. We're in a tornado watch right now in the Rutherford County area, so keep an eye on your phones, any weather apps you may have, or just the news to see if you need to react in any way to any possible tornadoes. Stay indoors, try not to go outside, and be safe. I'll go into a more detailed report about today and the 5-day forecast later in the show. Back to you guys.
That's a lot of things to remember, but I'll try to remember them. You know what? I'm really glad that this rain is coming, though, Jonathan, because my mud was starting to get dehydrated. Now it's not, so good news. Still ahead on Middle Tennessee News, MTSU celebrates Women's History Month.
And pit bulls are even more excited for St. Patrick's Day. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News. All right, sorry, we're having somebody come in here.
Sculpting the perfect body takes time. Quitting smoking does too. But with a little help, you can do it. Get the resources and support you need to quit smoking from the American Cancer Society at cancer.org/smokeout.
Hannah is bright, talented, and she's been so brave. Hannah complained of a headache. It was a rhabdomyosarcoma. Within a few days, Hannah was in treatment because we were told that the tumor was very aggressive. So we've essentially put our lives in South Africa on hold. Incredibly blessed to be here. St. Jude is an asset to the world. The research that is developed here is offered freely to the rest of the medical world. The entire way that the place operates is just to give and to care. I think it's the kind of place that not only stands as a beacon for pediatric cancer, but I think it could teach the world a couple of lessons about how to treat people. And I think if those lessons could be learned, even in their most basic form, this world could be a better place.
Repeat after me. Apple, table, penny.
Apple, bread.
I remember watching Dad with the kids and thinking, geez, in 6 years, will he even know who they are?
Ask me again.
1 in 10 Americans over 65 has Alzheimer's disease. Learn more today at brightfocus.org.
What does it look like when a life is truly changed?
I feel a sense of accomplishment because I built a house. This house has brought us financial independence.
Every family dreams to have their own house. This house changed our lives.
Habitat for Humanity is at work in your community and around the world. Through shelter, we empower.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. March is Women's History Month, and MTSU is celebrating. Lots of events are being held on campus. Here's just a few. Scaling the Glass Ceiling is a panel of professional women who will talk all about career advice, from pay equality to salary negotiations. That's happening today at 6:30 p.m. in the Student Union Ballroom. The drive for menstrual equity will take place throughout the month with the goal of collecting feminine products for women in need. That starts March 15th. And the exhibit, What Were You Wearing?, is a piece about sexual assault survivors and what they wore at the time of the assault. Several exhibits will be on display across campus, but the main one will be in the rec atrium starting the 1st of April.
Rutherford County Pet Adoption and Welfare is holding a St. Pity's Day adoption special from March 11th through the 16th. All entry the entire week, all pit bull and pit bull mix adoption fees will be only $4. This special applies to pets adopted or pre-applied during these dates. For questions about the adoption special, you can reach Murfreesboro Paws through their Facebook page.
Mayor Shane McFarland is concerned about the $33 million budget to build the new Salem Elementary School, which is a new building school which will require raising taxes and rezoning neighborhoods. It will also cost more to add a pre-K through 6th grade program. Mayor McFarland feels as though 6th grade should remain in middle school. In the past, Murfreesboro schools have dropped 7th and 8th grade. All right, so we've still got a lot of weather to talk about. Still got a lot of things. I mean, you know, things are really heating up, literally outside, which has caused all this rain, I guess. Maybe not. I don't know too much about it.
I mean, I was in shorts today, and then all of a sudden it got cold, windy, and now the rain is hitting us.
But Jonathan Sasser is our weather expert. You should have more information, Jonathan.
Thanks, JR. So, yeah, today it reached the highs up to 73 degrees. But it's going to drop all the way down to 43 tonight, making it very chilly. The rain is going to continue throughout the night, but it should peter off by tomorrow morning, which will be nice and sunny. So just hunker down tonight and try to stay dry until the morning. Make sure to keep an eye on those weather apps, websites, or news shows to know if you got to take shelter from any incoming tornadoes. We are currently under a tornado watch. So stay safe, try not to go outside. Back to you guys.
All right, well, still ahead, March Madness is underway, and Jonas will have for us after the break. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
Turn off your lights for Earth Hour. For our forests, our rivers, our oceans, our wildlife, and for our climate. For our Earth. Earth Hour, March 30th, 2019.
Your zip code. Just one number different, and you might have a whole other life. Different school, different job, different dreams, different problems. In America, the zip code you're born in can determine your future. The Y works to change that, with programs and services that help everyone thrive, no matter who you are or where you're from. For a better us, support your local Y today.
Breast cancer kills more than 41,000 people each year in the U.S. alone. That's unacceptable. That's why by 2026, Susan G. Komen will cut the number of breast cancer deaths in half. We'll get there by helping those who can't pay for treatments, by funding breakthroughs in research that save lives, by ensuring that all people receive the care they need. We'll get there, but only with your help. So, are you in?
My mother used to say a long time ago, whenever there would be any catastrophe that was on the air, she would say, always look for the helpers. Because if you look for the helpers, you'll know that there's hope.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. Sorry, I was just looking at what the weather might be for the rest of the week on this good old device right here. But you know, sometimes this isn't very accurate. Sometimes this thing can get it wrong. But I know somebody that never gets it wrong. It's Jonathan Sasser. He's here right now to tell you more about your upcoming look at weather. Jonathan.
Thanks, JR. I think you have a little too much confidence in me, but I'll try my best. So yeah, today it's pretty rainy, pretty windy. Winds are between 20 and 30 miles per hour. while the highs will be up to 73 degrees, but tonight it'll drop all the way down to 43 as a cold front comes in. There is a tornado watch going on right now from 12 o'clock to 7:30 tonight. And just, you got to stay inside, stay safe, and keep an eye on your weather channel, weather app, or websites, whatever you do to keep, in check of everything. But as far as this week goes, it's actually a pretty nice week. Not today, but, the rest of the week. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny with few clouds in the sky, though it'll be 53 in the highs and about 33 in the lows. It will be pretty chilly out there. Saturday will be all sunny, not a cloud in the sky, but it'll still be chilly out there with highs in the low 50s and the lows at 29 degrees at night. So there might be a little frost when you wake up Sunday morning, which will be another mostly sunny day with a high of 53 and a low of 30 degrees. And Monday, we'll get back to start getting cloudy again, but it will be warming up with a high in the upper 50s and a low in the upper 40s. So just stay safe tonight, and you got a nice 5-day forecast ahead of you after this. Anyway, back to you, JR.
Jonathan, that weather forecast just totally blew me away. Anyway, okay, coming up next on Middle Tennessee News, March Madness is underway, and Jonas is going to have a lot for us after the break. That's coming up next on Middle Tennessee News.
Sculpting the perfect body takes time. Quitting smoking does too. But with a little help, you can do it. Get the resources and support you need to quit smoking from the American Cancer Society at cancer.org/smokeout.
Hannah is bright, talented, and she's been so brave. Hannah complained of a headache. It was a rhabdomyosarcoma. Within a few days, Hannah was in treatment because we were told that the tumor was very aggressive. So we've essentially put our lives in South Africa on hold. Incredibly blessed to be here. St. Jude is an asset to the world. The research that is developed here is offered freely to the rest of the medical world. The entire way that the place operates is just to give and to care. I think it's the kind of place that not only stands as a beacon for pediatric cancer, but I think it could teach the world a couple of lessons about how to treat people. And I think if those lessons could be learned, even in their most basic form, this world could be a better place.
Repeat after me. Apple, table, penny.
Apple. Bread.
I remember watching Dad with the kids and thinking, geez, in 6 years, will he even know who they are?
Ask me again.
1 in 10 Americans over 65 has Alzheimer's disease. Learn more today at brightfocus.org.
What does it look like when a life is truly changed?
I feel a sense of accomplishment because I built a house. This house has brought us financial independence.
Every family dreams to have their own house. This house changed our lives.
Habitat for Humanity is at work in your community and around the world. Through Shelter, we empower.
Welcome back to Middle Tennessee News. Now for sports, which is coming up right here in just a second, we've got the only Sharks fan that I have ever liked in my entire life, Jonas Sage. Now, Jonas, the Sharks have been doing real well this season. In fact, they're really good, which is hard for me to say, but has Middle Tennessee sports, have they been as good as the Sharks, or have they been as bad? Or Jonas, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, it's kind of hard to be better than the Sharks right now, especially against Nashville. I don't think they've ever lost a playoff series, just a helpful reminder. But as both regular seasons close for both the men's and women's teams, March Madness begins as both squads gear up for the conference tournament. For the men, they ended the season winning 2 straight against UTEP en route to a 12 seed and headed to Frisco to take on the 5-seeded UAB Blazers last night. While the quest for stealing a spot in the NCAA seems tough, there was some hope for the Blue Raiders. They swept UAB in their back-to-back contests, with both games being closed out by sophomore guard, the mayor of Murfreesboro himself, Donovan Sims. Unfortunately, that dream ended last night with a tough 70-61 loss. Donovan Sims continued his career campaign with 22 points, while Carl Gamble dropped 18. Antonio Green got locked up that night, only putting up 5 points in 40 minutes. And while the Blue Raiders season's over, UAB now gets to move on to the second round in the semifinals to meet the 4-seeded Southern Miss Golden Eagles. But for the Lady Raiders, they're in a better position heading to the Star at Frisco. Although they ended the season losing 3 of their last 4, Lady Raiders find themselves as a 3-seed and fresh off a first-round bye. They'll need that rest going up against the 11-seeded UTSA Roadrunners, who upset Marshall yesterday. The Roadrunners lost to MTSU earlier in the season in their only matchup 79-49. The Lady Raiders will have Conference USA Newcomer of the Year Aqueen Hayes and Conference USA Freshman of the Year Taylor Sutton on their side. For UTSA, they're going to bring out Mary Benson, who leads the team with 15.2 points per game. That matchup's actually happening right now, 57-28 MTSU. It was a 21-10 first quarter. In the third quarter, the Roadrunners only were held to 1 of 7 from the field. Alex Johnson has 15, while the Freshman of the Year, Taylor Sutton, has 13. And that's a recap for both your men's and women's teams. Hopefully women go in a far way, just like the Sharks. I'll send it back to my disappointed Preds fan, JR.
You know, Jonas, you were talking a lot about upsets and sweeps and all that kind of stuff. Come time for the playoffs this year, I see the Predators beating the Sharks. Although the Sharks are having a really good season, the Predators are definitely just going to eat them alive come playoff time. Looking forward to it. All right, thank you so much for joining us for Middle Tennessee News. For Cheyenne Avila, I'm J.R. Smith. See you next time.